Hey, what's up? How's it going? We are playing some Explorer. We're trying out Eli Cassis Mono Blue Spirits deck. It absolutely crushed the competition at Worlds. I think it had like around 70% win rate or even higher than that. All the just had a marginal above 50% win rate. So Spirits apparently the best deck in Explorer, or at least this approach to Spirits, the new list, which has some slight changes to ones in the past. It plays 4 copies of Lofty Denial in the main deck, which is a counterspell that is very good when you have Flyer out. Sort of becomes a better Mana Leak, and Mana Leak was a very popular card in Standard and would surely be a popular card in Pioneer or Explorer as well if it would be legal. It is not though, and Lofty Denial does a similar impression with all your flying spirits in this archetype. And I mean, if worst comes to worst, if your opponent is playing on curve, you can always, if you don't have a spirit, counter the spell unless they pay 1, just like a Javai Disruption would counter, I don't know, a Fable of the Mirror Breaker in the past Standard format. Yeah, I mean, this is spirits. You guys all know the deck. 2 Spell Pierce, I kind of like that. Spell Pierce is, you know, some people play Slip Out the Back in the main deck. And I think the Spirits deck is just not the type of deck where you necessarily need to protect your creatures. You rather want to interact with your opponent's spells. Like if your opponent kills the creature that has a Curious Obsession on it, you likely have already drawn a card, and then you just play more spirits, put out more things onto the board, and you don't really care about protecting it. So I'm less a fan of Slip Out the Back and more a fan of Spell Pierce. Of course, Spell Pierce can still counter that Fatal Push or Bonecrusher Giant. It just also can counter something bigger or something proactive from the opponent's side. So that's why I like Spell Pierce. And we also see a new card out of Dominaria United. Combat Research made it in. 1 copy of this card, just to give you a 5th Curious Obsession. It's obviously worse than Curious Obsession, because it doesn't give the 1/1 pump. But nonetheless, it draws cards with your flyers, so it's good. 2 Faceless Haven. No Otavara is interesting. That decision probably comes down to Faceless Haven just not being activated that often in this archetype any longer, and just, you know, 2 copies is fine. You have a lot of blue 1-drops, so you never want to draw 2 copies of Faceless Haven in the early game. That could really stifle your own game plan. And no Otavara. I guess that also comes down to, I'm making presumption here. This is Eli Cassis' list, but I think it's just 4 mana is a lot. You really want all the snow lands for Ascendant Spirit that you can get, so that's why Otavara is not in here. That's my assumption. I made 1 change. I changed a Spectral Adversary for a Shacklegeist. I think Shacklegeist is quite good in the mirror match and really good against Greasefang. So I just wanted another copy of that, and I'm not the biggest fan of Spectral Adversary. I think it's a bit clunky. And I know that Mike Sigrist also said that they wished they would have played more Shacklegeist in their 75. So here I added 1 copy. It's pretty conservative, but I could also see cutting this Cemetery Illuminator for another Shacklegeist. This is a card I have not much experience with. It's a card draw engine, and it interacts with the opposing graveyard, so it's good against stuff like Kroxa or the Greasefang deck. It's a fine one-off. It's a card that can just win you the game in some spots in the late game, but we'll see. We'll see if we need that. We do have Spectral Sailor and Ascendant Spirit as our 1-drops that are really nice mana sinks and powerful in the late game, so we don't necessarily need stuff like Cemetery Illuminator. Yeah, I mean, that's the deck. Sideboard, we got the tech. Let's talk about the tech. Leyline of Combustion was the tech that the team of Jim Davis, Sigrist, and Toph and Cassis brought to the championship. So it's whenever you or at least one opponent you control becomes a target of a spell ability and opponent controls Leyline of Combustion deals 2 damage to a player. So it's really, really good against Mayhem Devil. Each time they want to ping one of your creatures, they lose 2 life, so that's pretty brutal. And it is also supposedly quite good against Rakdos. Rakdos has a bunch of removal spells that want to kill your guys. Each time they kill a guy of yours, they have to pay 2 life. It's just too costly. Also, another funny effect that this card does, it makes your Geistlight Snare cheaper in itself. So that's pretty cool. Mystical Dispute as a one-off, I exchanged it for Cobbled Lancer. Cobbled Lancer was a sideboard card they played against Rakdos midrange. And they just figured it's a relic of the past. They don't need it anymore. Now they have Leyline. So, yeah, Mystical Dispute is a card they wanted in the sideboard, so I added that in. 2 slip out the back, 4 Ledger Shredder. That's also a card that we haven't really seen in Spirits much. I think it's there mostly for the mirror match. It's a huge flyer that just makes the board, stops the board, draws a bunch of cards. In the mirror match, you and your opponent will trigger the 2 spell clause a lot. So Shredder will draw you cards, cycle through lands, just be an engine in itself. And I think that's what it's there for. So Brazen Borrower as interaction, Witness Protection as removal, Aether Gust as interaction. And that's all you need, really. And I think the addition of Lofty Denial is a really good one, because Spirits was lacking interaction a little bit in the past. And because it's a flash deck mostly, you have the ability to keep up Lofty Denial easily, and then to just have a 2-mana counter for anything, really. So it's sort of like Make Disappear in Standard right now, where that card sees a ton of play. And yeah, because it just counters Raffine or Fable, it doesn't matter, right? It just counters everything. Alright, I'm also less inclined or less motivated these days to play Standard, because there's just nothing coming up, really. Brothers War is coming out, we have all the previews coming in, so Standard, I think I'm gonna focus less on that and wait until the new format comes. And Explorer is interesting to me right now, because I have the Pioneer Tournament in Sofia coming up in 3 weeks. The RC, the Regional Championship in Europe. Yeah, this hand is totally fine. So we're playing against Karuga Fires, probably. Some Karuga Fires of Invention deck. They have like Fable, Bonecrusher Giant. Temporary Lockdown is a pretty scary card. Yeah, I think I just play this first. It deals the most damage, and this is certainly a racy matchup. I want to kill my opponent as quick as possible. So yeah, let's just put the Obsession on here. My opponent could have Bonecrusher Giant, so I guess I don't want to play my Ascendant Spirit. Okay. Now I think I'll just play both Spirits and draw a card. Savai-Triome. So this makes me think they're playing the Omnath version with like Temporary Lockdown, things like that. Wouldn't be surprised if they have it here. Yeah. But I come prepared. Rattlechains. Okay. Hoping for a land drop. Nice. I guess I'll just pass. Could play Shackle. Trying to figure out if I have lethal somehow next turn. Play Shackle. Counter their spell. The next turn I can activate these 2, and I have 4, 6, 8 damage. If I draw Supreme Phantom, I have lethal. I don't think I have these. I mean, I guess if I play Shackle, and then they have like an unimportant spell, I can play Rattlechains and then activate. I have exactly 10. I'd be surprised if they have a spell here that I don't need to counter. But that Karuga Fires deck is a deck. Okay, it's just. Oh, it's an unimportant spell. Well, it's not, to be fair. No, it is, because I can tap it. Yeah, okay, I have the win here. Good. I can tap it and step, and then attack everybody. Kill them. Cool. Got another Lockdown, yep. And Lockdown is very, very good against Spirits. And now that I drew a land, I even have 11 damage. Cool, that worked out. All right. So it's not the 4-color version. I think it's just Borrowers, which I also saw. Borrowers. So I definitely want Aether Gust. And funnily enough, I can just bounce this with Brazen Borrower while they play it, or after they played it. I think Cemetery Illuminator is not what I want here. I definitely want the Aether Gust. And then Brazen Borrower is interesting. Oh, yeah. So what would I cut? Maybe a Combat Research. Spell Pierce seems pretty decent. Maybe a Shackle. Not really needing to tap things this matchup. Spirits is a tight deck. I feel like you don't want to make cuts. I guess on the draw, a card like Ascendant Spirit becomes a bit worse. Because it's a pretty mana extensive play. Yeah, I think on the draw it's fine to cut like an Ascendant Spirit. So you don't have, if you draw multiple of them, they're not gonna be that good. Curious Obsession. Okay, no Bone Crusher. Lockdown is a scary card. They have it here? They have it. Maybe I should just play more Brazen Borrower to reset. Probably. Just played it full free. Return Karuga. It's a good sign. It's kind of funny that this costs blue, blue, green, green. Look at their mana base. I mean, you're really just trying to cast it with Fires of Invention? Yeah, I mean, that card is like 3 mana destroy everything on the Spirit's side. It's not pretty. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to play around a second one, you know? Like, I'm in a spot, I'm on the draw, I'm behind already. They cast one already, I can't play around the second one. You know. Be very surprised if I'd be winning this game. Let's see what you can do. Babel. Outcasting it. I mean, Babel is your play last turn? Technically half lethal. Let's see what they got. Okay, that doesn't do anything for now. I guess I should have played around Bone Crusher Giant by activating my spirit in my main phase. Well, now they still die. They're just dead. Wow. They could have beaten me if they would have just passed the turn there. Yeah, because then I activate my spirit and they lose. But now they played 2 spells, so they can't play a spell on their turn anymore. They need something with cycling to win the game. But I have exactly 6 here. What do you got? You got a Survive Triumph? Wow. Unlikely victory, I'd say. But we got there. Okay. Yeah, you should certainly brought in all Brazen Borrower in this matchup. I mean, Shacklegeist ain't that bad either, if I think more about it. Because Shacklegeist, you can tap down like Cavalier of Flames, which is a card this deck likely plays 4th. Temporary lockdown, not bad, not bad. It's crazy. We won a game where opponent temporary lockdown 3 and then 4 permanents. They just played a card that took away. They played that's a 3 and a 4th one essentially. I mean, I drew cards via what's it called? I drew cards via Curious Obsession, so it wasn't like really a 3 and 4th one. Kinda. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a Bone Crusher Giant. If they just pass. So Spirit's Nightmare matchup. Well, Nightmare is a bit... that's a bit much to say. But Spirit's bad matchup was certainly always Rakdos midrange. But I think the like Cassis and his team fought otherwise. Just gonna play draw go, yeah. I don't really see why I should commit. And they're not doing anything. Maybe I should have played my Wanderer. Maybe I should play this last turn. Now I'm gonna play it, I guess. I don't have any clock, and that's kind of bad for my hand. They clearly have a Bone Crusher Giant, I believe. Just trying to bait it out, trying to bait out counter magic here. So they can then Bone Crusher me. Yeah. I hate it. Missing land drops is not good when I'm in a spot like this. So I can play a Wanderer here. And then I just Bone Crusher it, I guess. I can counter that. It's just all bad. Like, I don't have any board. I'm gonna lose this game. I need like another land drop there. Braid. Now if I counter, they can resolve anything. It's so bad. But if I don't counter, they can also resolve anything. I think I'm just lose here. No matter, like, if I don't counter, yeah, my counter spells all suck. It's a lose situation. Bone Crusher ain't that good against Wanderer. Now it fizzles. And it won't be a 4-3 later on. I just really need a land, please. They have a Trespasser. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this game. I'm definitely gonna lose this game. I think I can basically concede already. They have manlands. Their board is enough. These 3 cards are irrelevant now. Man, I guess I won't concede quite yet. But now I have to play to the board and I really hope they have nothing, honestly. Like, at this point. If they're activating a Hive here, that'd be amazing for me. And very weird of the opponent, because I have Shacklegeist in play. I'll just tap it. I mean, I won an impossible game just now against Boros Fires, so maybe I win an impossible game here too. Okay, now it's over. I don't think I beat 2. No, no way. I can't imagine I can beat 2. I'm like at 5% to win this game now. Yeah. I don't know. I guess they played it smart too by waiting so long with their... I don't know, maybe I should have played my guys earlier. But they would have, like, if I would have played my Sailor or my Wanderer on turn 2, for example, I could have then spell pierced the Bone Crusher or the Braid or whatever. But then they just untap and play Fable or Graveyard Trespasser, and I lose. So it doesn't really matter how I play it. I think I just lose against their draw. They played very well by keeping up their mana. I couldn't punish them with any of my counter spells. I couldn't get to the board. And there's a weakness of Lofty Denial. You need a creature in play to have it be good. So that's certainly a weakness of the card. Yeah, and at this point I could bounce stuff, but you know, I'm just out of here. Like, I don't need to play this game out. I'm stuck on 3 mana. I can't double spell. I lost. Alright, I know that they're boarding out the enchantments against Rakdos. That's the plan, at least. Boarding in Leyline. And then I guess Aether Gust. I mean, Slip Out the Back ain't that bad in this matchup, is it? Lofty Denial really just like bad that game. Making me rethink about that card, huh? My opponent played it well, I guess. Maybe that also was the reason why we lost. Or maybe Rakdos is still a bad matchup, and we'll see. Maybe we find Leyline of Combustion. That'd be nice. I would love to see that card in play. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this hand, I guess. Just interesting. Like, now that I don't have Curious Obsession, my entire deck is so much weaker, right? Because I'm just playing Spirit, Spirit, Spirit. And I have to slowly kill the opponent. I'm not even drawing more cards. I don't know, I just feel like this is a bad matchup. Leyline of Combustion, I guess, would be nice. Rattlechains might just be the best card in the matchup, honestly. Really? Say what? Okay. Sure, I guess. I kind of lofty for an Aether Gust. An Aether Gust. They don't have Chandra anymore. They just play Fable. Doesn't even seem that good in this matchup, honestly. This card just seems clunky. Okay, I want to have the Leyline, please. Even the Leyline they can raise, technically. If I need a good amount of spirits and pressure myself to make Leyline good, right? If I have a more reactive hand and don't have that many spirits, like they take some damage by killing my spirits, but life total isn't that important when I don't pressure them. Yeah. Like a hand like this is just unplayable. Leyline doesn't really do anything. Okay, I guess I keep. I think I can't go to 5 against Rakdos. Bone Crusher. Never gets old. Never gets old. Don't think I care. Okay, they're missing land drops. I don't know, I could have played Rattlechains, but Rattlechains is really excellent against Rakdos and their removal. Underdog. Surprised that they're not trying to kill my... Like, my opponent plays this game very smart, I think. They're not killing... my guy, well aware of Rattlechains. Trying to raise. I think it's a good read on my hand, at least. Yeah, Rattlechains is one of your MVPs in this matchup for sure. You gotta play well with it. You shouldn't just play it out randomly. Okay, fine. They hit me for free, yep. Go to 11. Faceless Haven. Take 5, pass. Faceless Haven awfully convenient, I gotta say here. Don't really care. Okay. They maybe drew Fatal Push for my Faceless Haven. Go to 6. I think this should be fine though. Maybe this is bad. They have to... Okay, maybe this is a bad line. Yeah, maybe I messed up there. Well, they have to keep up the push for Faceless Haven. If I draw land, I have to win. So I can counter the push. Alright. What should I have done there? Maybe just bounce the Harvester and play my free one. Let him just trade. Or I could just counter. Just counter the Bone Crusher. Okay, we won. We won. Well, they missed land drops. And we could just play out our hand. Spirits. Who beats spirits, huh? It's something like angels, I guess. Aggressive creature decks. Beat spirits. Off. I guess I keep. Because I have stuff. Combat Research and Wanderer. Well, they're taking Combat Research 100%. But I think my Wanderer in play is more worth it. Maybe not. Maybe I need to rely on the Combat Research. It's Greasefang. I mean, that's a pretty good card. For the Greasefang deck. They found Greasefang and Parhelion. So I better draw land now. Double Thoughtseize. It's really, really strong. Okay, now they're telling me essentially that they have the God Draw. That they have another Greasefang in hand. Well, I also have the God Draw, I guess. Drawing a counterspell off the top. Sky Siren. Actually, doesn't really do anything. They have Rattlechains, and they need a crew member. So I guess that's what they threw out their Greasefang for. Interesting. Like they knew about Rattlechains. This card is like, I don't even have to counter it. It's that bad. Do I have to counter that? Probably not. Multiple Lilianas in the list. Greasefang is getting some nice cards in the next set. Diabolic Intent for Explorer. Chariot. Yeah, I do have to counter that. Oh, and that's lethal. Wow, winning on 2 lands. Something only the Spirits deck can do, huh? Crazy. Crazy. Okay. Alright. I guess I don't have many sideboard cards. I guess I just stay as straightforward as possible. Put like 1 Borrower in for an Ascendant Spirit. Yeah. If you don't, yeah, sometimes you just don't need anything for a matchup if it's already that good. Shacklegeist, copy 3 and 4. would be what you want. I mean, so many one-landers, like, what's going on? That's just sucks. Do we have 5 one-landers in a row now? Oh, that's hilarious. Opponent also mulling into 5. Already milled the Pahelian. I guess I should have tapped this in combat. Took a damage for no reason.
No more distractions. Oh, one of your friends has to leave.
Interesting. If they have Greasy, I have a problem. Pretty big problem for attack. This might be weird, but I think it's correct.
Drop it.
Yeah. Turned out to be the correct move.
A delay, nothing more.
Play it now, give my Shackle hexproof. Because if I play it in response, to them returning Pahelian, they could have Fatal Push on my Shacklegeist and get me. So I gave them one less draw step to that, essentially. Okay, at this point, I guess I'll still just do this. Yeah. But they don't have Pahelian in the graveyard anymore. Really sucks that I had to discard Curious Obsession. If I hadn't mulliganed that much, I wouldn't have needed to do that. And we would have easily won this game by now because we drew like 3 extra cards. But yeah, now it's a bit close. Like, they have a lot of good top decks. Like even something like an Aether Gust Chariot here would be really troublesome. I need to start drawing something. But they just don't have anything. Okay. Okay, that makes it a 2-turn clock. So that was a good draw. Yeah, Shacklegeist just MVP. Okay. Well, you kill the Shackle. you die to a Supreme off the top. I mean, I mulligan a lot, but I draw also the right card when I need it. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't have drawn the Phantom there. They would have started mowing down my creatures. I mean, I would have hit them for 7, down to 3. I guess they would have only killed the Phantom, and I would still had 4 damage in the air. So I would have won if they didn't have anything. But if they would have had anything to discard a card in their hand, I would have died. Yeah, if you're seeing a lot of Greasefang, maybe you want to change the Cemetery Illuminator in the main deck for another Shacklegeist. Shacklegeist just very, very good in that matchup and pretty good against the mirror match, tapping down the creature that has Curious Obsession on it. And it's also, yeah, just against creature decks, like anybody who's playing Rotting Regisaur or Steel Leaf Champions. Even Cavalier of Flames, I guess, out of the Fires of Invention deck. Some of these big creatures that you just like, tap it down, ain't gonna do anything. It's a pretty good card, Shacklegeist. It's not that good against Rakdos. It's... I guess not that good against Rakdos decks, yeah. Sacrifice decks, mid-range decks. Just dies to Fatal Push and Bone Crusher. So I think that's the reason why Cassis and his team trimmed on the card for Worlds. But in a more broader meta game, I like it. And I know from Mike Sickler's article that they regretted that decision. So they wanted to have more Shacklegeist, either in the main or in the sideboard, for the matchups where they need it. Mulliganing again. Giganta. So Rakdos Sacrifice, I assume. Gonna be an interesting matchup. Okay, it's something different. Huh. What did I discard? Maybe I should have probably just played my Ascendant Spirit last turn. So now it's a bit awkward. I can't play Spirit next turn and have Snare up. Maybe I just gotta discard the Spell Pierce. Don't want to discard a land, especially when I have these mana sinks. Yeah, this is just awkward a little bit. Spirits is really a deck where you don't want to be on the draw. You really feel it with this one. Okay, that was pretty clear cut. Slip out the back, or maybe something like Ledger Shredder with more toughness. Maybe just don't play Spell Pierce. Okay, that was brutal. But yeah, that happens. I'd like to have the sideboard guide of these guys. That would help. The sideboard notes. So I'm not entirely sure. Like, maybe you're supposed to board out Lofty Denial here and there. I mean, so far I've been winning with this deck, but when I played against Rakdos Midrange today, and now I'm playing against Rakdos Sacrifice, it just, it doesn't feel good. Nah, I think this is just too weak. I'm really looking for a Leyline. Like, I can't... Like, Reactor Sacrifice just absolutely mows spirits to death when I have a hand like this, I think. It's just... What are you doing? They have Fatal Push and claim the Firstborn. You can't just play a creature on turn 2 and think that's gonna cut it. Or is it? I mean, this hand's reasonable. Play my 2/2 on turn 2 and just hope it sticks. Okay, fine. I wouldn't keep this on the draw, though. I have 2 counter spells, so I can deal with Mayhem Devil, Fable, maybe. Maybe the Ledger Shredder is really also for this matchup. Just a big creature, but they have Fatal Push and Claim, so... No. They forgot to attack for 1 damage. Yep. Fourth season slip out is definitely good. Maybe I'm not supposed to even play my Shacklegeist there. Now they know that the coast is clear. They can even play Fable here. Alright. Yeah, okay. I probably was not supposed to play my Shacklegeist there. Alright, I mean, sure. I mean, this just feels horrible. Like, absolutely terrible. Interesting. Maybe it's my draws, maybe it's that keep, maybe it's my plays. But yeah, I mean, yikes. Reactor Sacrifice, I think like 6 or 7, 5 or 6, 6 or 7 players registered it for Worlds. And it was one of the least, I think they went 14-20 if you exclude mirror matches, which is pretty bad, 14-20. So the Spirits players, like, I think Nathan Stewart played Reactor Sacrifice and he lost 3 times against Spirits. 3 times he lost against Spirits. So I guess it's got to be me. It really has to be me, right? But like when I'm playing these games, I'm just like, this just feels terrible. So I don't know. Anybody with Fatal Push has to claim the Firstborn and bottom Sacrifice. Just, yeah, call an ambulance. Here I lose insta if they have Fatal Push. If they have Fatal Push, wouldn't they already use it? Why wouldn't you Fatal Push main phase? I just want to restart this entire thing. Just play another match. Like, what if I have Rattlechains, you know? Or Spell Pierce? I guess they had like a hand with multiple removal. They were like, yeah, just pass. I can, if they have a counter, I have another one. God, the shrine. This Spirit deck feels fine, but it definitely does not feel broke or anything like that. It just feels like a fine deck. Maybe it just was the right deck at the right moment in the World Championship, but I don't know. Just getting wrecked today, huh? I mean, yeah. I lost the last. I won the first 3 in this video, right? And then I lost like the last 2, and now I'm getting destroyed by Oath of Gaia of all things. Oh man. Guess I'll just pass here. Thoughtseize, Charming Prince, Oath of Gaia. What a joke. I mean, we're in the platinum ranks, so I guess just some piles of decks are there too. Spirits is certainly, yeah, I mean, whatever. If you draw well, you win. That's how Spirit goes, of course. But you can say the same about every deck in the format. What Spirit has is the ability to operate on a very low land count. Like on low resources, but also misses power level. Yeah. So I guess my way to victory is Ascendant Spirit to the max. So now they Yori and kill my Phantom, but then I can activate the Spirit. And then they, you know, have to think about what they do with the Yorion. Yeah, I'm all in.
When I win, you're telling me what you know about the Raven Man. Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Okay. They won't attack. You should draw a card there before you scry, so you have more information. Two to the bottom. It's a close game now. think I'm behind, but of course they have to top deck something, but they have a lot of draws. Like, right now I'm ahead, but, you know, I'm on much fewer resources. Discard an informant. Okay. So if they have that card in their deck, then they should draw a card even before playing their Frame Inspector last turn, so they can draw into Fatal Push. There's some black-white flicker nonsense. Liliana. Thoughtseize is a pretty good card. And if you draw 3 Thoughtseize, even your tier 4 deck is gonna be okay. Slip out the bag. Am I supposed to just put away land? I feel like if I just play a 2-drop into 3-drop or something, I'm just gonna lose. This deck is so fair. You would really think that any deck with Fatal Push is just a bad matchup. One has priority for some weird reason. I don't know what that could be. Like a March? March of Otherworldly Light? Or a Black March? Okay, I guess people are also prepared nowadays because it just was the most successful deck. Like I did the line I did because I thought if they have another spot remove spell, I'm gonna be okay. You know, I just 2-for-1 them with Rattlechains. But yeah, I mean, them having temporary lockdown was certainly not part of the plan. They have Wandering Emperor. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. This deck just feels bad. It just doesn't feel that good. You could say it's like variance or whatever. But like it's a fine deck. Don't get me wrong. Like Mono Blue Spirits is one of the is a tier 1 deck. It's a tier 1 deck. Sure. I buy that. Maybe I played just poorly today. Maybe it's all on me. But it just doesn't stand up to the expectation that if you see it crush the World Championship, you think, okay, we got a new best deck in the format. No, it's still the same for me. It's kind of still the same. Curious about the sideboard guides, I guess. Hey, perhaps I played a bit too greedy in some spots. I mulliganed a lot, or my opponents just had it all. You know, magic's magic. Sometimes you just lose to some variance in that case. But overall, I wouldn't say this is like the new broken thing. And the Lofty Denial, you know, it's a fine addition. Makes the Greasefang matchup really nice. But the decks that have Fatal Push, we just lost against Black-White nonsense. They just played, you know, a couple of removals. I mean, the Lockdown on turn 3 was pretty brutal. But hey, if people are playing the Lockdown card, that's the best card in the format against Spirits. It's rough, so yeah. Not a huge fan of the deck. You know, it's just like before, I feel like. That are my feelings on the deck right now. If you like the archetype, hey, play it. If you're bored playing Rakdos Midrange Mirrors, for example. But yeah, nothing broken or anything. Alright guys. Hope you like this content. Hope you like more Explorer stuff. I'm gonna try out some other decks as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.